Welcome to or welcome back to my YouTube channel if you're new around here. My name is Hannah Hawthorne and I'm Simply Witched. Over the last year, my practice has changed a lot. One particular tool that I no longer resonate with is my Grimoire. In the past, if I needed information or if I was looking for a specific spell, I would look in here. But these days, I don't find myself doing that. Hi! Instead of returning to old spells, like this Beltane self-love candle, I am intuitively creating new ones. Instead of returning to references in here, like this one about Litha, the summer solstice, I'm researching, because the topics that interest me now are not in here. They're new to me. So today I am starting the process of redoing my grimoire. I am removing the pieces that I have outgrown and I am modifying those that I can to fit who I am today. And I thought I would show you what that looks like. We're gonna go through the old sections of my grimoire and I'll share some recipes, workings, and folklore with you. I'm gonna share why certain things don't resonate anymore and how it is totally normal to change in your practice. So get something to drink, get a pen and paper if you wanna write any of this down, and let's get into it. The pages I'm about to show you are really old, like from the beginning of my practice. They definitely don't represent who I am now, and they are a bit cringy to look at. But that's the beauty of keeping things, to show you how far you've come. A struggle I've had in my practice since the very beginning is my relationship to Wicca. I never tried to become Wiccan, but over time I built a very Wicca-centric practice, and I'm still in the process of unpacking that. I have a video diving deeper into this subject if you're curious. It's called An Honest Conversation About Wicca. And if you resonate with what I just said, I think it'll be helpful to you. I don't consider myself Wiccan now, but I'm still unweaving the web it left in its wake. A fundamental part of my practice has always been about connecting to the sacred cycles and seasons of the earth. Like many of you watching, I'm sure, I found that in the Wiccan Wheel of the Year. I don't celebrate the Wheel of the Year like I used to, and that has left me very lost. I established clear guidelines for myself, like how and when to celebrate each Sabbath. And I liked it that way. I always knew what to do. But now, many years into my practice, I realize that it isn't that simple. As I have grown as a witch, I find myself asking tougher and tougher questions. Where do my celebrations come from? Do I feel personally connected to the traditions I have taken on within my practice? Are my personal correspondences really my personal correspondences? Or did I just write them down a decade ago because I saw them on the internet? I know, it's a lot. My practice was a lot easier before I started wondering these things, but it was also a lot shallower. If I have learned anything, it is that there is no possibility for depth within your practice unless you go to the depths. Within these pages, that looks like taking it line by line and asking myself if I believe these things or if they are even true. Paganism is difficult because in many aspects, this history, this folklore, is our best guess. So much information has been lost to time or purposely eradicated. When I first started practicing, the internet and books were very different for witches. There were a lot less voices in the space, and misinformation ran rampant. For the most part, this wasn't a malicious thing. There were just less resources available. So much of the information I had believed to be true because it was written in a book or a trusted website turned out not to be. And that has left me and a lot of other practitioners in a weird place. A lot of my early grimoire pages are a product of this time, especially those that relate to the Wheel of the Year. So I'm taking them piece by piece and sorting out the truth, determining how relevant that information is to my practice today. The Wiccan Wheel of the Year was created for Western Europe. Since I don't live within that region, their seasonal changes aren't very relevant to me. Realizing this has forced me to connect deeper to the land around me and create a wheel that supports my practice. Today my wheel works within an astrological framework. I work alongside the sun as it travels into different zodiac signs. This is a subject I have shared about extensively, both online and in my book, The Magic of Birthdays. Here you can see the breadcrumbs of this beginning and what it has evolved into today. One thing I will definitely carry on in my practice are the recipes I created to go alongside the Sabbats. These Beltane muffins and Litha cookies were some of my favorite. I'm going to adjust their entries and see where they best fit in my new wheel. I had personal blessings written for each Sabbath, which I used to turn the wheel of the year. Now I have blessings for each of the zodiac signs as they enter their season. Building a wheel from scratch has been a process, but one day I will have new pages filled with my personal celebrations, their correspondences, and how to celebrate them. If you want to learn more about building your own wheel of the year, I have a video on the subject. In the same vein, I used to celebrate the full moons very specifically. Many different cultures have given names to full moons across the lunar calendar, like these: wolf moon, snow moon, storm moon, etc. I don't use these anymore as I think that they're misappropriated names of moons created by the Indigenous people of North America. I've never heard anyone else talk about this, so if there's any Indigenous folks watching who can educate us, please chime in below and I'll pin your comment. But if you just look at these names, like the Wheel of the Year, they don't make sense to use unless you live in the one specific area they are created for. There's different flora and fauna and weather patterns all over the US and the world, so it doesn't make sense that we all celebrate the strawberry moon in June if we don't live somewhere that grows strawberries during that time. This is why actual Indigenous moon names change nation to nation. I think you're way better off learning the folklore of your region in a way that is respectful and doesn't impede on anyone else's culture, of course, than try to celebrate something that isn't relevant to you. Because of this, I've created my own lunar calendar and names for each moon based on seasonal changes in South Florida. I'll probably post a video about this soon. This is my old illustration of the Wheel of the Year. I can't wait to create one for my new wheel. I actually used to sell this as a PDF in my Etsy shop. About 4 years ago, I used to make printable Grimoire pages. Another product I had in my shop was this witch's birthday ritual. I later published it. I used to have a lot of Wicca-centric mythology in my grimoire, like the god and goddess and tales of the holly and oak king. I still love these stories, and I think there's a message to behold. I just want to take a more critical look at them. I have a few more information-heavy pages, like this one about water scrying, still one of my favorite forms of divination. On the back, I discovered some personal correspondences for different water, like snow water for slow working spells and lake water for reflection. These still resonate with me today. As an animist, it all comes back to the spirit of whatever I'm working with. Of course, I had to have instructions for making moon water. Mother Moon, thy guiding light, shining down on me tonight, bless this water with your power, enchant with love this very hour. I have spoken this incantation over many moons, and I still use it from time to time. Naturally on the back, you can find recipes for sun tea. Use equal parts orange peel, rose petals, hibiscus flower, basil, and strawberry. You're welcome. This is a chapter on calling the quarters and casting a circle. I still perform a modified version of this, not for every working, but for more formal rituals. On the back, I wrote a quick list of protective plants and crystals. During this era, I loved tiger's eye and coconut. I still do. If anything, a beginner witch should know how to cleanse. I wasn't sure if I was going to show this page because it includes white sage, but I genuinely didn't know at the time that it wasn't for me to use. White sage is a sacred indigenous medicine, making it a closed practice, and it's endangered. This is just one of the things I learned from the internet, which I'm not sure I would if I wasn't online. I'm sharing this in case you don't know and to remind you that it's okay to change your mind or make changes once new information is provided to you. Growth is never embarrassing, and when we know better, we do better. There's a lot of other great options to cleanse, like yarrow, cedar, or lavender. Two of my tried and true cleansing methods that I still use today are my rainy day cleanse and my self-cleansing ritual. These have never failed me. Another working in here is my spell box for witches. During a waxing or full moon, you will create a representation of what you wish to manifest and place it inside a box. Leave the box open in the moonlight and close the energy up in the morning. I used to say this incantation when I followed the threefold law, but I don't prescribe to that belief anymore, so I will be revising it. This is about all of the nostalgia that I can handle for the day, so I will be leaving you. Thank you so much for watching. If you would like to see the next steps in my Grimoire journey, let me know. perhaps we can create some pages together. That is all I have for you today. I hope that you have enjoyed this video. If you have, please like, subscribe, and turn on the bell notification. To keep up with me between uploads, there is a link down below to all of my other platforms, as well as to join my Discord, buy my book, or book a reading with me. So until next time, have a magical rest of your day, blessed be, and goodbye, everyone.